What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for coming back to another video. In today's video, we're talking about Cult of Chucky. So Cult of Chucky is the 7th and final film in the Chucky franchise that stars Brad Dourif as the titular character, Chucky. This film plays off the events that happened in Curse of Chucky, where we have the character of Nika, played by Fiona Dourif, who is now in a psych ward after the events of the last film. If you have not seen Curse of Chucky, I'm going to give mild spoilers for that film, so yeah, if you don't want to hear that, definitely go check out Curse of Chucky and check out my review for Curse of Chucky before checking this one out. But if you have seen Curse of Chucky or you just don't care, here we go. After the events of the last film, Curse of Chucky, they pretty much thought that Nika was the one who did the murders and that she was crazy and it was not Chucky. So now she is trapped in this psych ward, and of course, like every other film, Chucky finds his way to get to the main character. Not long after, you have Chucky wreaking havoc in this insane asylum, and you have all these people thinking that the doll is real, like he is, and of course they're all insane, so everything that they say gets doubted, and Chucky is able to get away with a lot of things. They start to blame things on different people, and I felt like this was a very interesting setting to put a Chucky film in. You have all of them claiming that Chucky is alive, that he's a killer doll. You have some of them that believe it, some of them that don't believe it. Some people are blaming it on others. Nobody that works at the asylum wants to believe any of these people because they all seem crazy, they're all acting crazy, and they're all saying that this doll that they have not seen move is alive. So it really sets up for a really interesting dynamic and interesting setting for this kind of character and for this situation. And on an overall level, I enjoy this film. I don't think it's the greatest in the franchise. I think there's a lot about it that's a little bit weird and convoluted. There's this really weird scene where there's this huge Chucky, kind of like a dream sequence kind of thing, and the effects there are terrible. However, the animatronics in this film are really well done, and I think that they present some really cool and interesting different elements to the lore that could have really set up for some interesting things to happen in future Chucky films, which is part of the reason I was really bummed when I found out they were going to be rebooting the franchise with a brand new Child's Play that was not going to have Brad Dourif in it as Chucky and was not going to play off of those films. I feel like at the end of this film, they left us with a cliffhanger that would have really set us all up for a really interesting and different Chucky film in the future. Could have taken the lore of Chucky and everything with the voodoo in a different direction. So I was really disappointed to hear that there would not be continuing this version of Chucky, especially after them leaving us in a place that would take the character, like I said, in a more interesting direction than we've ever had. You know, Chucky's agenda in these films, for the most part, has been the same. He just wants to get out of his body, get back into a human body. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he just wants to be a killer. Sometimes he just wants to get back at people. And in this film, they play off a lot of interesting things that happened in the past films, and I think that they were really setting it up to be, at least, if anything, interesting. I don't know about good, because again, this film still has that B-horror feel that the other ones have. You know, it's entertaining. I think as a fan of Chucky, as a fan of B-horror, it's good, but the performances from a lot of people are okay. Some of them are pretty solid, some of them are really good. Fiona Dourif is really, really good as Nika. She's easily one of my favorite characters in the Chucky franchise. I really enjoyed her in Curse of Chucky and in this film, and they really set up her character and her as an actress to be a really great part of whatever the next chapter would have been, which is another part of the reason that I was so disappointed with how much this film set up and the fact that we won't be getting that payoff. It's just like, why? It's so upsetting. I don't understand. I just don't get why they decided to stop the franchise right here. They should have been able to at least get one more film that would have continued this on and finished off this Chucky franchise with at least some level of finality. However, I do enjoy this film. I do recommend it. Have you guys seen Cult of Chucky? Let me know down below if you like it or do not like it. Again, it's not an incredible film. The story is very predictable. There's a lot about it that I found pretty interesting, and I feel like they took the Chucky character into interesting places. And if you've seen my reviews for this franchise in the past, even though these films, in a lot of them, are not great or good at all, it's Chucky that really drives these films for me. It's his character and his wackiness and the silly concept and how ridiculous it all is that really keeps me interested in Chucky and in these films. And Cult of Chucky is no different. I really enjoy Brad Dourif as the character. And, you know, it's really sad that this is the last film that he'll be playing that character in. I really wanted to see more from Chucky. I wanted to see more of this franchise after the ending of this film. Again, the animatronics in this film are really well done. There are some things about this film that I don't like too much as far as some of the story beats and some of the characters. There are some forgettable elements, but overall, I really enjoyed the setting. I think it makes for a very interesting and different Chucky film when you look at all of them. Yeah, I enjoy it. You know, I enjoy it for what it is. It's not a fantastic film. It's not an incredibly written film. It's not even something that I would really recommend to everybody. The same way I feel about the entire Chucky franchise. You kind of got to look at the trailers for this. You got to just hear what other people say about this. Look at some images and kind of realize for yourself whether or not this is even something that you're interested in. And then maybe just check out the movies for yourself. But I could totally understand if somebody thinks this movie sucks and if all the films in this franchise suck, because they're not for everybody. You know what I mean? That's not to to say that they're bad or good. Just pretty much they're not for everybody. I don't think that they're gonna really do it for everybody. For me, I love this kind of stuff. I love how weird and wacky it is. I love Chucky as the character, and I think that there's really good, solid films in this franchise. This is definitely one of the better ones. But yeah, for the most part, they have this kind of B-horror, just fun, wacky silliness that doesn't really take itself too seriously. And I really believe that Chucky will forever go down as a really iconic character, specifically Brad Dourif's version of the character. And yeah, I do highly recommend this franchise as a whole. Thank you guys if you have watched all my reviews for this franchise. I really do appreciate it. If you have not checked out my other reviews, and this is the first of my Chucky reviews that you're checking out, definitely go back and check it out. I have a playlist on my channel. It's just called Chucky, and you can probably just find some of the more recent videos that have Chucky related in there. I really have had a lot of fun talking about this franchise. This is a franchise I love, for better or for worse. There's really great chapters, there's really chapters, and there's some really terrible chapters. But all in all, Chucky is so awesome in all of these films for me. I really enjoy his character. I love Brad Dourif as the character. I love how crazy, ridiculous, and wacky this film franchise is, and I enjoy this film. That's going to be my review for the final film in this Chucky franchise. Thank you guys again for watching. Hit that like button down below. Let me know your thoughts on this film down below. And now that this is all over, what is your favorite Chucky film in the entire franchise? Let me know all of that down below, guys. Hit that subscribe button. I will see all of you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!